Hi, I'm Ranesh, and this is how I became a data scientist at the age of 21. All right, let's try this. So I think the story starts in my senior year of high school, where I first started getting into coding. I would consider myself as an early adopter. I got into the digital world and tech and stuff like that pretty early on in my childhood. And after graduating high school, I think the next step for me was pretty obvious. It was to enroll myself in a computer science program, maybe a 4-year degree program. So that's exactly what I did. Ow. Ants. This is precisely where things started changing for me. I started getting into more independence. I started building my own apps, learning new programming languages like Python, built basic apps like tic-tac-toe, chess, to-do lists, and stuff like that. I tend to like preparing for stuff, especially when I'm passionate about them. So yeah, like I said, I started doing stuff on my own early on before getting enrolled in school, just so I can get ahead and understand what I really got myself into. Okay, it's getting really hot, and I think there's ants in my bag, so I'm gonna move to a better spot. Where was I? Yeah, I got enrolled in that 4-year degree program. I started off as a computer science student, and this is kind of where everything clicked for me. I kind of figured out what I wanted to do in the future, which was essentially building stuff from scratch and trying to make an impact. And I knew I could do that with code. So yeah, school continued. I decided I wanted to apply the things I learned on my own outside of school, and I decided to build my own website. And I used HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for this, and it worked out pretty nice. Like I said, it was pretty bare bones and basic, but the goal here for me was to get exposure on how to actually productionize things so that other people who had access to the internet could actually use it. After that, I started doing similar projects, and I used those projects to build my experience and try to leverage that to land internships. That didn't really go according to plan, and I guess that was the first time in my professional career where I got hit with reality pretty bad. I think deep down I knew that I could provide something, some sort of value, but I just wasn't able to get to a place where I could show that to someone else. So I did the next best thing, and I did some freelance work for some family friends, and that was kind of a big turning point in my life, just because I realized that, maybe computer science or software engineering isn't what I want to do. I found that although I was able to build a lot of cool stuff with code in that role, I just wasn't able to really make an impact when it came to business decisions. I wanted to be able to uncover insights and implement those solutions, and I later found out that that's exactly what data scientists do. And then fast forward a couple months, I transferred to university in the US to complete my degree, and I found out a lot of the credits that I took back home didn't get carried over. And this is where I decided to fully commit to data science, and I switched my degree to a more data science focused degree, just so I could actually test it out and figure out if that's what I wanted to do and that's actually what was meant for me. I also got kind of excited around this time, and I took the Google Data Analytics certification to kind of understand what to expect and also learn the tools of the trade. To give you some sort of time frame, this was around my junior year, and I decided to take things really seriously here just because I wanted some sort of internship experience before I graduated. So I put in a lot of effort consistently to try and land that internship. I started working on my resume and looked at a ton of job descriptions to try and understand what companies were looking for, and found projects that align with those skills. And after 300 applications, over 100 rejections, and dozens of interviews, I finally got a couple offers. All right, I'm gonna finish the story back home. My camera's starting to overheat, so I'll see you guys there. So yeah, my camera started overheating, so I decided to complete the story in the car back home. But what happened after that was my decision, or my thought process was, let me give this data science thing a try. Let me fully commit. It's not too different from computer science. So I can transfer all the stuff that I already had within computer science and just get the data aspect, try to understand data more. What is machine learning? How I can implement statistics and data-driven decisions to moving a business to helping improve certain metrics and stuff like that. So that's what I did. Took the Google Data Analytics course, did the capstone projects, fell in love with it, and I carried on. A lot of the work I was doing back then was all for the purpose of landing an internship. I found projects that I thought would be attractive to employers, and I just did those. I picked up a lot of different skills. I kind of went for a breadth first approach, where I picked up different languages, different skills, different tools, instead of focusing on one specific tool or skill and diving deep. At the time, I thought that would be most beneficial, but I learned that finding a specific language that you are very good at, can understand through and through, and implement stuff with is probably a better choice long term. So yeah, that's eventually what I did. Right now, I think what I should have done is picked a specific path, either Python or R, definitely SQL, Google Sheets or Excel, and one BI tool, either Tableau, Power BI, or Looker, and just follow through with that, do a lot of projects with those tools and languages and get good with those. But yeah, that's what I did back then. And it kind of worked just because I was targeting a very broad set of companies. I was targeting very different niches. It was not specific to tech, but I landed a lot of different opportunities in different areas. So that's how I got the offers. I made a whole video about this topic, and feel free to watch it. A lot of people have, and a lot of people have found value from that video. I'll leave a link down in the description below. But I decided to pick the startup just because the conversations I had with the employers, my mentors, and stuff like that were very, very interesting. And I think the experience I thought I would have got from the startup was the most significant or the most meaningful. So that's what I chose, and I think I made the right choice. Obviously, looking back where I am now, I don't know what I would have done if I picked a different company. I can't say I would have landed in the same spot I currently am, but I'm very happy with where I am now. So yeah, I definitely don't regret choosing this startup. It was the lowest paying offer at the time, but the opportunity cost of just not going for that startup just bit at me and I had to pick it. So I decided to follow through with the startup, and about a month and a half in, I got a full-time offer to continue working there while I finished my degree. Obviously, a lot of stuff happened in that time span. I tried to require as little hand-holding as possible. I did a lot of day-to-day stuff that full-time staff did, and I tried to attempt to solve big problems in the company, which I think helped a lot. If I remember correctly, I think I was pretty clear with the expectations and the intent I had in terms of learning outcomes and stuff with a startup during the interview stage, which I think definitely helped a lot. But yeah, I think I tried my best to wear as many hats as I could in the niche of data. I tried my best to do a lot of data engineering work. I did a lot of BI work, dashboards, reports, and most importantly, machine learning and data science. I productionized models. I implemented SageMaker and other tools into our workflow and our tech stack. So I guess from an employer perspective, I was able to handle a lot of different day-to-day tasks, which made it easier to bring me on full time. So the question still stands: how did I become a data scientist at the age of 21? Without a master's degree, no PhD, and no FANG experience, I think it was a mixture of luck, hundreds of failures, and pure persistence. It's much easier to get an offer once you're within the company and had a chance to show your worth. Plus, the market back then was a lot better than it currently is. I also think the hundreds of mistakes that I made and the failed interviews helped me a lot throughout the process, which ultimately equipped me to land this job. The dozens of failed experiments I ran within the company eventually led to a couple successful ones which had a big impact. Also, the pure naivety and confidence I had in myself to provide value somehow reflected in my work. And the pure persistence I had when it came to learning allowed me to grow exponentially and gain so much of experience. I was able to not only learn a bunch of different statistical techniques and methods at school, but I was also able to implement them at work and productionize those models, which was great because that was a very sought after skill. So now what? What was the point of me sharing this? Well, I've been posting videos on this channel for just about over a year now, and I found that a lot of you guys are on a similar journey. Personally, I learn best from people who just accomplished things that I'm looking to accomplish because their feedback tends to align with the challenges that I'm currently facing. And I think if there was more people out there sharing their lessons, their journey, and most importantly, their mistakes, I could have saved myself a couple mistakes here and there. So to those of you who are on a similar path as I was, I truly hope this video helped you. I also made a Discord server for all of us to join, talk about our experiences, share our mistakes and stuff like that, and I'll leave a link to that Discord server down in the description below. Anyway, if you got this far, thank you guys again so much for watching, and as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, and a subscribe would help the channel out a lot. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.